Welcome to Friday, the first Friday of June 2nd, 2023. Your day with a podcast being brought to you today by Cowboy State Daily. Check them out at cowboystatedaily.com. Well, the stuck pattern continues, so it's going to be cool and damp through the weekend for most of you out there, at least through the Rockies, the western high plains, through the southern plains. We continue to have a sharp delineation between very wet conditions in the Rockies and adjacent high plains and drier conditions in the Corn Belt and parts of the Midwest, and this general trend is going to continue. We saw some heavy showers and thunderstorms yesterday afternoon and evening, and some continuing overnight, including some areas along the western slope. So get ready for more showers and thunderstorms, as this is going to be a weekend you're going to want to keep the rain gear happy. So flooding concerns will continue for the next several days. Swollen creeks, rivers, and streams due to runoff, combined with these heavy showers and thunderstorms, could cause some localized flooding in some areas. We've got many areas that are flash flood watches, and we'll show you where. And temperatures are going to be cooler. Nothing terribly cold, but daytime temperature readings are going to be only 60s and lower 70s in many areas for highs, which isn't that far off of average, but a little bit cooler. And some of those higher mountain areas, as we showed you yesterday above timberline, could see a little bit of snow this weekend. Now, the pattern favoring more shower and thunderstorm activity is actually going to go into next week. It doesn't end on Sunday. In fact, in the next week, we see continued shower and thunderstorm chances in this region. Some heavy thunderstorm activity yesterday, thanks Paula for sending this in, producing not only some very heavy rain around Laramie, but if you look very closely, yep, there's a funnel cloud right there. This thunderstorm southwest of Laramie that then rolled through southern Albany County was quite strong, producing some very heavy downpours. Good shot there out of the Burns area, where they picked up more rain yesterday out in eastern Laramie County. A very wet May, now a very wet start to the month of June. The satellite imagery continues to show a very large amount of high humidity air still swirling around the region. You do notice there's a little pocket of drier air right there. Well, this will get basically erased by this increasing flux of moisture coming on in. So the general trend is the same. High water content air continues in the west, right up against the Rockies, both sides of the divide. And there's the upper level low as of early this morning, just about over Grand Junction, Colorado. And around that low, we have areas of showers and thunderstorms that developed overnight and into the morning hours. This general area of low pressure, with this blocking area of high pressure here in the Midwest, is a persistent pattern that will last through the weekend and, as you'll see, further on into next week. This is by Wednesday. So you can see that there really isn't a huge displacement or change. In fact, things actually retrograde a little bit, with the low over California bringing southerly wind flow up against the high plains, with that high pressure further out east. As we take a look at where there are flood watches, across Montana, Wyoming, into western Nebraska, then an area down here in Texas, parts of New Mexico, parts of Oklahoma, those areas are under a flash flood watch as we go through today and into the start of the weekend. And for zooming in on Wyoming, you can see a large area of the state, flash flood watches are in effect. And really this is just due to the fact that we've got runoff still continuing, and we could have these slow-moving, heavy rain-producing thunderstorms that could really cause creeks, rivers, and streams to rise very quickly. You get a lot of meadow flooding right along adjacent to the creeks and rivers. The low-lying areas could flood, and this will be a concern not only today, but for tomorrow and for probably Sunday as well. And over the next 10 days, you can see the heavier moisture continues to show that same trend right up along and both sides of the Continental Divide, then down into the southern plains, into southern Canada there. Notice as you go further east, there's a real drop-off. Look at this. This is going to be a concern going into this month of June, of dryness continuing into the Corn Belt. That does extend into Iowa and eastern areas of Nebraska. So east of this line, it's just been very hard to get it to rain. West of this line, some people are, well, maybe getting tired of the rain, although we continue to need it in terms of getting completely out of the drought in some areas, while drought persistence in these central areas is something that's going to continue, especially these dry areas right here. Going out to 10 days, notice, again, not a lot of change. Now, this high does retrograde a little bit more to the west, but we still have this southerly flow around this low over California. So while this may shift around the moisture a little bit, it's not going to eliminate the higher humidity air. So over the next 7 to 10 days, frequent opportunities for shower and thunderstorm activity is likely going to persist through the first 7 to 10 days of the new month. And the new European model came out. This is the 30-day forecast. So this takes us all the way up to near July 4th. This is the precipitation anomaly forecasted by the European model for the next month. And so the anomaly definitely showing the same trend in the Rockies, Southern Plains, even back into the Northern Great Basin. The green and blue showing above normal chances of rain, below normal chances for rain, really showing up here again in the Corn Belt. So there's this really big contrast between the wet and the dry right here as we go through the next 24 to 48 days, probably at least through the month of June and into early July. And temperature-wise, temperatures in the west generally are going to be a little bit cooler than average. Temperatures relative to normal are going to be the warmest in parts of Canada than in parts of the Midwest where the drier conditions are prevailing. So the month of June for the Intermountain West and the Great Basin, well, it's not going to be a hot month of June. Yeah, there'll be some hot days developing, but as long as we keep the showers and thunderstorms going, as long as the soil moisture profile has got good moisture in it from these showers and thunderstorms, you're just not going to get a hot June. And at least June is going to start off a little cooler than normal, and the trends will continue to be damp. Have yourself a good weekend. We'll see you Monday.